During Paul Molitor's illustrious 21-year career, he amassed 3,319 hits, a lifetime batting average of .306, a World Series MVP, 9 All-Star Game appearances, and is widely considered as one of the best hitters of all time. Paul is guaranteed to be inducted into Major League Baseball's Hall of Fame.
Hey, I'm Paul Molitor, and before we get into the demonstration of the quick swing, I'd like to talk to you about a few of the basic fundamentals of hitting. I'd like to start out today talking to you a little bit about the grip. You know, a lot of times when I see youngsters play, they have a tendency to really want to smother the bat, getting the bat really deeply into the palms of their hand. And what happens when they do that, they get restricted in their bat speed because they're holding the bat too tightly. What we want to try to do, especially as we get a little bit older and a little bit stronger, make sure we try to get the bat out in the fingertips a little bit more. What happens when we do that, it gives us a lot more freedom when we come through the zone to increase our bat speed and release the swing. So remember, on your grip, try to get that bat out in your fingertips. Next, we'd like to talk a little bit about the stance and the stride. I think it's really important when we get into our stance position that we have really good balance. Generally, good guidelines is just a little bit more than shoulder width apart. We don't want to get too spread out or too upright. Just find a nice comfortable position where your weight is equally distributed. Now we get into our batting position and we take our stride as the pitch is coming. We want to make sure that we don't overstride by getting too far in our spread, therefore losing our ability to spin on the ball, and we don't want to have too much of a no stride where we get too stiff. Find a nice comfortable stride, usually just about 2 or 3 inches, just to kind of begin that swing. So a balance and a nice comfortable stance and a nice soft short stride. The next thing I'd like to talk about is the trigger or the load, and that's the hand movement that we're going to use to get ourselves ready to the firing position before we actually make the swing at the baseball. Once you get into your stance position and your hands come off your shoulders, we like to do something very small, however, to get our bat ready to fire. It might be just a little upright in the bat angle. Some guys like to maybe turn it back a little bit away from the pitcher. Some might take a little bit of a drop. Whatever it is, it should be something small in a very controlled zone. We want to avoid that big drop or the big turn or the big movement. Something nice and quiet. That's what the quick swing is all about. Short, quick movements. Then we get into a firing position and we're ready to attack the baseball. I'd like to talk about the actual swing. Now we talk about the closest distance between 2 points is a straight line. We want to apply that to our actually swinging at the baseball. Once we get to that loaded, triggered position, we want to fire exactly to that point of contact. We don't want wasted motion on a sweep or coming down with a big hack over the ball. It's a straight line from the barrel of the bat to the contact point. All right? That's how we're going to get the ball the most quickly. What we have to do to ensure that that happens is make sure we get our lower half involved. When the ball's inside, we're going to fire those hips to the left field side of the field for a right-handed hitter. We want to square a ball up to the middle. You can see my hips kind of staying in line where that ball is going to be tracked to. And now when we want to hit the ball in the opposite field, still that short, quick swing, but I'm going to finish with my hips fired out to right field. Okay? Now what I didn't include in that swing is the follow swing. So now I'm going to try to demonstrate how important it is to make sure we follow off that swing, that short, compact swing with a good follow-through. You'll see it on the inside pitch, opening up to left field, that contact point in the middle, squaring up right up to the pitcher, and now every once in a while I got to take that ball the other way. Again, squared up with a good follow-through. Now I can go ahead and start my track around the bases. So there you go. Those are a few of the fundamentals to developing a short, quick, compact swing. I go out there and practice them using the quick swing, and hopefully you'll become a better hitter.